And we are set for basketball action. Jermaine Jackson in the starting lineup for the Rider Bronx. He will jump up against Ryan Bacon, the 6'7" sophomore from Maplewood, New Jersey. And we are underway, controlled on the tip, Justin Robinson. And now Ryan Thompson at the point, a 6'6" point guard who makes a lot of things happen.
And what he does, he's the best player, but basketball's in his hands, and he's allowed to make plays.
Here's Harris Mansell. Jackson not a threat to shoot from outside, neither is Ringgold, but this Rider team certainly has plenty of weapons who can knock down a jump shot. 5 to shoot. Robinson back out to Mansell. He is a terrific three-point shooter. Nothing but net. And
he's their best option to knock down shots. Even though his three-point field goal percentage down from where it was the last 2 years, it's still solid at 36%.
Well, the Rider Bronx have 5 players averaging in double figures, and they have a veteran playmaker in Ryan Thompson. So you've got that kind of combination. You can make a lot of things happen. Reach-in foul called against Justin Robinson. Here's a look at our coaching matchup brought to you by Anaconda Sports, home of the Rock. And John Dunn, the 1992 Ithaca College grad, in year number 3 with the Peacocks, really now showing signs of progress. Late in the season, as mentioned, having won their last 5 games against MAAC opponents to close out the regular season. They lost the Bracket Busters game, but beyond that, they have been perfect recently in the MAAC.
And they've won those 5 straight against MAAC opponents by guarding. They've been holding opponents to 59 points per game. They've out-rebounded their opponents by 5, and they've shot the 3 at 41%. That's a good formula for winning ball games.
Nice look inside from Wes Jenkins. However, Ish Traore could not finish. Now we'll try again. Blocked by Jackson. Ringgold gets in there and ties up Traore. And the possession arrow will stay at this end as we take a look at Tommy Dempsey, year number 4 as the head coach of the Bronx, a 1997 graduate of Susquehanna University. Last year was the coach of the year in the MAAC in leading his Rider Bronx to a share of the regular season championship and ultimately a spot in the MAAC finals where they came up short.
They played that MAAC final without Ryan Thompson, who suffered a concussion in the first round game in the quarterfinals, a game that they survived against Canisius and had a good win in the semis, despite the fact that they were a bit undermanned against Marist.
Jackson, nice looking mid-range shot.
And Jackson, a guy that doesn't give him a whole lot of scoring punch. His role is to defend and rebound, so we'll take any points they can get from him.
Yeah, the freshman from Reading, PA, 2.4 points, 2.8 rebounds. But he is long at 6'8", 205, and as you can see, he is active defensively, but he picks up the personal foul on the reach-in.
And each time they've thrown it into Bacon, each of their half-court sets. And you see the immediate double coming from Rider to try and force the ball out of his hands.
St. Peter's with an overall record of 11-18. They rallied to an 8-10 record in the MAAC after being 3-10. So they jumped themselves all the way up from potentially being a 10 seed to the number 6 seed here in the tournament.
Well, quick whistles as Rider. 2 quick fouls on Jackson, and he's a guy that doesn't play a ton of minutes, even though he's in the starting lineup. It's Novar Gadsden that gets the majority of the minutes for the Bronx, and so with those 2 fouls, Jackson will take a seat.
Novar Gadsden 6 times was MAAC Rookie of the Week or Co-Rookie of the Week, and he made the all-rookie team, as you would imagine. Bacon off the nice feed with the easy 2.
A nice lead from Traore. He's a guy that really struggles to score it, so a better idea trying to find Bacon.
Rider basketball as Bacon wound up in some of the new seating here at the Times Union Center. Very comfortable seats. They have taken away most of the press seating here along courtside and sold the seats for dining purposes. And you've got kind of like a barroom cocktail type setup.
Expecting someone to start singing a show tune for you there in front.
But good thing it was not Ryan Bacon flying into the front row in the afternoon session when we had nearly 10,000 people here to watch the Siena game. You would have landed in somebody's lap as opposed to a comfortable seat. Terrific feed, but Jenkins missed the layup. Thompson off the uptake. Always looking for a teammate. Winds up in the hands of Robinson. He can't get the roll, and Bacon plucks the rebound away.
And especially early in the game, he'll defer to his teammates and try and get everybody involved. If he needs to take over later in the ball game, then he starts looking to call his own number.
Thompson comes away with the turnover. He averages nearly 18 points per game. Second in the league in that category. Ringgold stepped on the baseline. Ball back over to St. Peter's. There's John Dunn. He was an assistant coach at Western Michigan, at Manhattan, at Siena, and at Seton Hall before getting his first job as a head coach 3 years ago at St. Peter's. Jenkins tries to free himself of Harris Mansell. Can't do it. And now passes off to Nick Leon. Bacon with the layup.
A nice seal and able to go get it.
Gatson with the catch and the layup. Quick answer at the other end for the Bronx.
And that's what Ryder wants to do. Rush it up the floor. They've got to figure out a way to create pace.
Novar Gatson, as a high schooler, broke the old scoring record of Joe Jellybean Bryant at John Bartram High School in Philadelphia. And of course, you know who Jellybean Bryant is. That's Kobe's dad. Harris Mansell rattles that one home. He's got a couple of three-pointers. He's got 6 of the 10 Ryder points, and the timeout called by St. Peter's.
Not your traditional fast break, but a scoring opportunity early. You've got to make sure getting back in transition, you spot up and find a guy like Harris Mansell. As we said, shooting it at 36%. For most guys, that would be numbers that are way up. Not for him. Last year, he was at 45%, and then 2 years ago, he led the nation for most of the year and ended up leading the MAAC when all was said and done at 53%. So he's a designated shooter. You got to go find Mansell.
Talk about a high school with a big name performer whose record you surpassed. Harris Mansell, as a baseball player back in high school, Cheltenham High in Pennsylvania, he broke the record of Reggie Jackson, his high school batting average record.
Ooh, that's a good little nugget. I like that one.
Yeah, so Harris
I haven't
Mansell,
heard that one from. You've been saving that one
for the tournament. It's
there
tournament time. Got to pull out the big stuff. But he is a huge Philadelphia Phillies fan, and so he is reveling in the idea that his team won the World Series.
And I know it's not quite Mr. October, but he's been Mr. March a couple of times. Remember, last year Harris Mansell found himself on the MAAC All-Tournament team.
All right, Mr. March, we'll go for it.
A bit of a stretch, but go with it.
But if you've got a better baseball stat than Reggie Jackson, you're doing all right.
A nice feed by Gatson running the floor. So early on, the Bronx have been able to gallop, get out and run.
And that gives you an idea right there. Ringgold at 6'7", Thompson 6'6", and they handle the ball that well. They can go either way, one pass to the other, or vice versa. And so you've got two big guys at this level. Here comes Thompson back the other way.
And their offense clicks because they have a lot of interchangeable parts. That time, though, Gatson with the travel.
In spite of that, Ryder rides a 7-0 run into the break at an 8-point lead over St. Peter's. Back here in Albany, Ryder on top 12-4. It's the Citizens Bank MAAC Championships presented by Pepsi Max. And don't miss out on the excitement and the action over the next couple of days here at the TU Center in Albany, New York. Get your tickets now by calling 1-800-30-EVENT or by logging on at timesunion.com. MAAC Madness, the tradition continues. Doug Sherman and Rob Kennedy with you for this fourth of the quarterfinals on this Saturday, rapidly approaching Sunday. Most every year we wind up on the air until the witching hour, and we certainly seem headed for that again here tonight. Ryan Bacon with the layup, and it just occurred to me we've got to change our clocks tonight.
Don't forget that one. Can't start without you.
Miss the pregame show tomorrow.
Ryder trying to create the pace with their defense up in the full court pressure, but St. Peter's able to run right through it.
Bacon now has all 6 points for St. Peter's. Nice defensive stand. Jordan Costner into the ball game, comes up with that rebound. Also into the ball game, Brandon Hall, a freshman point guard, out there with Jenkins and Bacon, who wanted the ball on the post. He's got single coverage with Gatson. And Akeem Gooding into the ball game as well. We talk about the big three for St. Peter's, but Gooding is rapidly putting himself into that category as well. Ringgold comes up with a loose ball for Ryder. Nice look, Thompson. Finger roll and a chance for three.
And that's where they are at their best. Out in transition. And again, different guys that can handle the basketball. Mike Ringgold's their foreman, but he's very comfortable putting the ball to the floor. Nice feet ahead. And it's always nice when you've got a guy running alongside you like Ryan Thompson who can finish.
And that finish reminds me a little bit of Kenny Hasbrook for Siena with the body control to be able to finish despite the defender being there. Go up around him and get a chance for a three-point play.
And Ryan Thompson even a little bigger than Kenny Hasbrook at 6'6", so when he extends, he's really able to score over top.
We are here at the Times Union Center in Albany. Our last quarterfinal of the 2009 Citizens Bank MAAC Championships between Ryder and St. Peter's. And with St. Peter's being the 6th seed and Ryder being the 3 seed, the Bronx, by virtue of that, wear their home white uniforms as the better seed. Thompson with a steal. Looks off the defense and a chance for another three-point play.
That's a terrific step across, and you come up with the steal, you don't have to outlet it to anybody, and that's what's so good about this Ryder team. So many guys can handle interchangeable parts. There's the guy that makes it all go. Ryan Thompson off to a quick start.
And that is the first Ryder field goal so far tonight, Rob, that has not been assisted. That's the first unassisted bucket. And you get a sense there in watching Ryan Thompson finish on consecutive plays why NBA scouts are so interested in this young man.
There are a bunch of guys here today, and they've been to Ryder games throughout. And his ability to handle and play the point, we talked about it in between games. It's a great opportunity. A lot of times guys got to project, can you play at that position? Now, guys really get an opportunity to see him with the basketball in his hand. It's an audition. Ryder showing zone.
And that's probably due to the fact that both Matt Griffin and Patrick Mansell are in the ball game for Ryder, two of their smaller defenders in the backcourt. This is Griffin off to Gadsden. We've seen him give enough, a couple of nice up fakes. And then the ability to get in and find his fellow freshman Jackson for the easy layup. And the Bronx have gotten some early separation. Ryder continues to get one easy basket after another, Rob. 8 for 10 from the floor, and it's one layup after another.
Take a look how it develops that extended ball fake as Gadsden goes in. See 3 blue jerseys converge and able to drop it off, but it all starts with showing the basketball. Deception's such a big part of basketball. You got to keep guys off balance, and just with that exaggerated ball fake, and we've seen it a lot from the freshman Gadsden, and he's been able to get defenders to bite on.
Tommy Dempsey says that Novar Gadsden could be a monster in this league, and you've gotten a taste of that. We've talked about the prowess of Ryan Thompson and his ability to do a lot of things, but certainly Novar Gadsden has shown as a freshman he's already pretty good, and he's only going to get better.
And Tommy Dempsey loves his upside potential. He thinks he's got an opportunity to be one of the top players in this league. Loves his size, his power, and that scorer's mentality.
Wesley Jenkins comes up with the steal after having knocked down the 3 at the other end. Here's Nick Leon. Terrific feed inside for the one-handed hammer by Ryan Bacon. Well, there's a little taste of Nick Leon. He is the second leading scorer for the team at over 15 points per game, but he is also a playmaker. Off the bounce, in stride, a terrific entry feed with his left hand. Brandon Penn, another freshman from Philadelphia, into the ball game for Ryder. And that foul takes us to break. Jordan Costner whistled for St. Peter's. Ryder with a 9-point lead, 22-11. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Citizens Bank MAAC Championships presented by Pepsi Max. Get your tickets now for the MAAC Baseball Championships at Waterfront Park in Trenton, New Jersey. They'll be played May 21st through the 23rd. To buy tickets, call 609-394-3300 or go to MAACsports.com for more information. Doug Sherman and Rob Kennedy back with you here at the Times Union Center in Albany, New York. This is quarterfinal Saturday. Little pick and roll. Missed layup, though, by Ringgold. Brought back out by Jackson. Justin Robinson, who already has 4 assists, comes up with the field goal, his first of the ball game.
And he's so quick with the basketball, not just in the open floor, but really coming off that screen with the vengeance.
Leon, nice up fake to get by Harris Mansell. Misses the shot, though. And it'll be St. Peter's basketball, even though the Bronx are trying to convince the officials that Leon was the last to touch. And if Mr. Leon indeed did touch it last, he's not telling. Costner out. And Jack Hill comes back in. Shot clock was reset to 35. Perhaps there was a question of whether or not that shot had hit the rim. Hit the backboard clearly. It's a moot point now, though, as we've got a foul call after the reset.
Rotter's gotten whistled for a number of fouls as they've tried to reach in and poke down on doubling into the post.
Pass goes untouched, intended for Jenkins, and so Ryder will have it at the point where Gooding made the pass. Ryan Thompson leads all scorers right now with 8, as well as Ryan Bacon for St. Peter's. But for Bacon, he has 8 of 11, where Thompson has gotten better support from his surrounding cast. Robinson, nice floater, well short. Leon with a rebound. Jenkins pulls the trigger from deep, and he hits.
Oh, nice drop off by Leon as he was able to drop it off on the drag behind. Jenkins able to knock down the 3. 2 of 3 so far from beyond the arc.
And Jenkins is the 5th leading scorer in the MAAC at nearly 16 per game. And he has really overcome a lot in his personal life this year. His uncle died around Christmas time, and he was extremely close to his uncle. And there was a point in the season when his head coach, John Dunn, was concerned about whether he would be able to get back to normal this year. And clearly, basketball-wise, he has done so and really thrived. This is Jenkins. Just past the midpoint here in the first half. Jenkins with a contested 3. Ringgold takes it away from Hill.
And you've got to contest all his 3s. If he's got open looks, you're in trouble.
Robinson wide open from 21. Ringgold mixing it up again, but this time he can't come away with it. Instead, it's Jack Hill, the freshman from Houston, Texas, with a rebound from Peacocks.
And Ringgold is always around the basketball. Doesn't matter if it's on the glass, offensively or defensively. Some guys just have a nose for the ball.
Jenkins posting up. Robinson called for the reach-in. And it appeared that John Hughes said that it was on the shot. 2-shot foul. Robinson picks up his second.
You say that with a bit of surprise.
Perhaps.
But Jenkins got good size, and especially against Robinson, even though they're both listed at 6'2", Jenkins with the clear advantage as far as the upper body strength.
And Jenkins is from Newark, New Jersey, went to Bloomfield Tech. High school teammate of Iona's Rashawn Dwight and R.J. Hall of Marist, who we just saw here earlier tonight.
Kasim Drummond, who we talked about in the last game, and Deshaun Butler, so you can see why Bloomfield Tech was able to get to the New Jersey TOC final 2 times in the last 4 years.
What's become of that Butler guy since he didn't wind up in the MAAC?
He's done just fine.
Indeed he has.
Playing tonight. Game day was down in Morgantown. Boy, did they have their crowd revved up and ready to go early this morning.
They just started last night and kept it going through the morning, I imagine.
As Jay Billis said, it's because everybody was on YouTube and saw Digger's Dance episode. The fans wanted to get there early just to see if there was going to be another train wreck.
Well, let's hope not. This is Digger's alma mater who we are watching here tonight. It was known as Rider College back then when Digger was a young lad. Now Rider University. Akeem Gooding with a strong finish.
St. Peter's starting to chip away. Terrific feed. You always want to make sure out on the break that the last pass is a bounce pass.
Now, during this 5-game MAAC winning streak for Gooding, or for St. Peter's, Gooding has been a real big spark, big contributor for the Peacocks. Again, it's about Jenkins, Leon, and Bacon when you look at this team, but Gooding has really come on strong in late February and now early March.
And as we said, that's the key, getting that fourth wheel. In their win against Rider, their fourth wheel was Jordan Costner, who had a monster game with 15. Robinson went down. Boy, he took a shot to the midsection. Remember, Robinson got hurt last year in the MAAC tournament as he turned his ankle. It wasn't just the concussion to Ryan Thompson that hampered Tommy Dempsey's lack of depth last year. It was also Justin Robinson going down.
And Robinson has an eye for Nick Leon right now, the man who he purports gave him a shot to the midsection. Hill with the putback. Ryan Thompson walking it up along with Mike Ringgold. Out there with Robinson, Gadsden, and Harris Mansell. Here's that matchup again. Robinson guarded by Leon. Robinson from the baseline. Rattles out. Hill clears. Leon averages 15.1 points per game. Jenkins 15.8. Bacon 11.3. Clearly the big three. Jenkins, in spite of the fact that Gadsden had a finger in his jersey, hits another jump shot.
I realized Gadsden not as quick defensively out on the perimeter. It took advantage. Nice crossover to create some space.
Well, Rider jumped out to the big lead, but St. Peter's has been chipping away now on a 15-7 run, and this is part of it. Nick Leon with a nice no-look pass to Akeem Gooding, and the Peacocks didn't stop there. There's the separation you talk about, Rob, and the buried three by Jenkins.
In a college, cutting-edge academic programs, a faculty that's second to none, great recreational opportunities and residence halls. How about a college that will provide you with the education you need to become a leader in your profession and in your community? If that's what you're looking for in a college, you'll find it at Canisius. To learn more about Canisius College, call 1-800-843-1517 or visit us on the web at canisius.edu. Canisius College, where leaders are made.
Late first half, Rider with a 6-point lead over St. Peter's. This is the Citizens Bank MAAC Basketball Championships presented by Pepsi Max, and the MAAC and Rider University also proud to serve as the host of the 2009 NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship Trenton Regional, March 29th and 31st at Sovereign Bank Arena in Trenton. For ticket information, call 609-656-3224 or visit sovereignbankarena.com. 6.5 minutes remaining here in the first. Leon, Costner, Bacon, Hall, and Jenkins for the Peacocks, who have chipped away after falling behind by 14, but the turnover gives it back to Rider. Matt Griffin at the point, 5'11" sophomore from Northbirth, Pennsylvania. Went to St. Joseph's Prep before signing on the dotted line with Rider University. Gadsden misses the three. Nice job to tip it back out by Brandon Penn. And a fresh shot clock for Rider.
Smart play. He wasn't going to be able to come up with it, but he kept it alive.
Gadsden, tough pass. Handled by Penn after it was deflected. Under 6 minutes to go now, first half. Griffin fouled by Leon.
Remember last year, Matt Griffin played a prominent role in their semifinal win against Marist after Justin Robinson turned his ankle in that first round game against Canisius.
Matt Griffin, a sophomore co-captain, along with the senior Harris Mansell, who's got the basketball right now.
Son of former Siena head coach John Griffin.
And after he left Siena and left the business, got back into it to be the head coach at St. Joe's, which is how the family winds up in Philadelphia. And Griffin grows up in the Philly area. Foul on the post entry. Brandon Penn is called for his first and the 6th against Ryder, so we'll have free throws upcoming on the next Ryder foul.
And John Dunn's team has gotten it back to the pace they wanted. Remember, a few minutes ago, Ryder was out running in transition. Their offense was looking very smooth and got themselves into a rhythm. St. Peter's been able to break the rhythm last couple of minutes.
Penn spotting up well short from the baseline. Brandon Hall to Nick Leon, who moves to the wing with Hall in the ball game. Bacon gets the roll on the jump hook, and he is fired up.
Yep, he is fired up and fighting his way right through the double team. Last year, you would have never thought about running a double team, Adam. That's the type of improvement he's made from his freshman year to his sophomore season.
You know, what kind of player was Ryan Bacon at St. Benedict's back in his high school days?
He was a good player, but he was a complimentary player because of all the different guys that they had on that team for Danny Hurley. St. Benedict's Prep, one of the top high school programs in the country.
Thompson misses, Gadsden cleans it up.
We'll take that as an assist.
It depends on if you're in Lawrenceville or somewhere else.
The Bronx Zoo, you get that.
4:15 remaining in the first half. St. Peter's, which was down by 14, is now trailing by 6. Rims out. Again, Penn, who has been very active, comes up with another rebound. Ryan Thompson count the basket and one. The flop by Costner did not fool anybody, and so a third opportunity already here in the first half for Thompson to get the layup and an and one.
Hard to guard him when he's got a head of steam going in transition.
The 6'6 junior out of Lenape High School in South Jersey now with 12 points for Ryder. In Albany at the Citizens Bank MAAC Championships presented by Pepsi Max. Ryder with an 8-point lead over St. Peter's, 31-23, late first half. And another congratulations to those winners around the MAAC from earlier in the year, including the Iona Gales men's cross-country team, which finished second in the NCAA. And congratulations to the men's and women's soccer teams at Fairfield, the women's volleyball team at Siena. Congratulations to all. And we will crown a women's basketball champion tomorrow and a men's champion on Monday night. Would you say you give them a tiara tomorrow? No?
Bit of a stretch, but one thing's for sure. Marist has had a long run on the women's side here under Brian Georges, and they will once again try to keep that crown as the top team in the MAAC. But Canisius, they were able to knock them off at home earlier this season in the McCann Center. Should be a good matchup in the women's final tomorrow.
Thompson steps into the passing lane and a chance for another three-point play, but he couldn't get it to finish. But boy, he gets to the rim very, very well.
Pretty good in transition, huh?
Yeah.
One of the things that NBA scouts love about him is his ability to get into passing lanes, come up with steals, and then convert out at the other end. He's got that good size and length. He's got the size to play his position, and that's always key with NBA scouts. At 6'6", he's got the size to be able to look over top of defenses and run the point.
Plus the fact that he's the team prankster can't hurt. Remember last year as a freshman, he used to play all sorts of jokes if he could on his big brother, who is now, oh, by the way, a multimillionaire in the NBA with the Sacramento Kings.
Another guy with size for his position.
Yep. Well, big brother is more like 6'10", 6'11", and so he plays inside, although he certainly has the jump shot that separates him from a lot of guys 6'10", 6'11".
Well, that's the key for him, his ability to step outside and face up. He continues to get more and more minutes as Sacramento struggling. They've made some trades, and that's opened up more and more opportunities for Jason Thompson.
Meanwhile, Ryan Thompson, they do have similar body types if they were the same height. In terms of their build, their lankiness, obviously they look very similar facially, but it is interesting how two brothers only a couple of years apart can be so dramatically different in terms of their pro prospects. One is a point guard and one is a 4. Coming up at halftime, We'll, of course, have our first half highlights and stats, and we'll also take another look at the 2009 Men's MAAC Award winners, as were unveiled on Thursday with my broadcast partner, Rob Kennedy, doing the honors. Got a nice little gig there, Coach.
Keep me busy on a Thursday night.
What kind of trouble could you get in Albany on a Thursday night, Rob?
None.
Exactly. Found the right job for you. Harris Mansell with a couple of free throws. And the lead is back up to 9. A whistle and a foul against Gadsden. That's the 7th team foul against Ryder, and so Hakeem Gooding will go to the line. There's a look at Gadsden, who gets his first personal foul. Well, it's been interesting watching the St. Peter's team evolve. They have had some thrilling victories late in the season. John Dunn has gotten buzzer beaters, game-winning shots from each of his big three, Leon, Jenkins, and Bacon. In the last month, Bacon hit the game winner at Canisius. We saw that tip-in that wound up making top plays on SportsCenter. Leon, against this Ryder team at Sovereign Bank Arena, hit the game winner late. And then Jenkins, just the other day, hit the three-pointer that snapped a 63 all-tie. It was a 25-footer, and after Nick Leon had been triple-teamed, he's thinking, I'm the guy who's in the nick of time, as I called him after his big game-winning shot. He was triple-teamed, but had the presence of mind to find a teammate. How about the block shot by Bacon? Patrick Mansell misses. Hill with the rebound, and again, St. Peter's showing some energy, hanging around, making a ball game of it. Then they turn it over as Jenkins shuffles his feet.
Costly mistake there. John Dunn's formula has been, hey, let's guard, let's keep the game close, and let's give ourselves an opportunity to make some plays late in the game. He said once we made a couple of those plays and got a big win, all of a sudden we had some more confidence, and they've been able to feed off that.
And again, they've won their last 5 games against MAAC opponents. Tough to stop Ryan Thompson. Little jump back fade away from the baseline. He's now got 15 points. Make it 16 points on 6 of 7 shooting, and we've seen it in a variety of ways, although most of them have been on the move. He's got the ability to knock down the three, but he hasn't had to do that tonight.
Yeah, on the move, either in transition in the full court, but also on the move off the bounce in the half court.
Traveling violation. Again, turning it over. That's the 9th against the Peacocks.
And on the other side, Ryder's taking great care of the basketball. Just 3 turnovers so far here in the first half.
Patrick Mansell has it rattle out. Gadsden soars in, gathers in midair, and then finishes.
I'll tell you what, he's got those great hands, and when he's around the basketball, he just snatches it. How about coming up with that rebound? Didn't have to come down and regather. He had the strength to go finish while still in the air.
He is the 5th of the 5 double-digit scores on the year. Bacon answers at the other end with the easy dunk.
That was a nice screen on the backside against the zone. You pin that zone defender in, get the open look.
Ringgold drew a crowd, and then a traveling violation against Mansell.
There's a reason you travel when they tackle you. You know, I mean, hard to keep your balance. Here's that nice screen along the baseline. You saw Hill able to pin that backside defender of the 2-3 zone to give him the open look.
One minute to go in the half. Big mismatch on the low post. Ryan Bacon posting up against Patrick Mansell. There's the lob. They recognized and get the easy 2.
They had enough good spacing, 4 out and 1 in, even though they didn't find them right away. Good patience to go back to him.
There you see the numbers for Bacon, 7 of 9 from the floor, and they have all been in close, either layups or dunks, and Tommy Dempsey's club is going to have to figure out how to slow him down.
He shoots it at 53% on the season, 6th best in the MAAC.
And so the timeout with 45 and 1/10 second remaining in the first half, as Ryder has seen its lead whittled down to 7. They jumped out to a 20-6 lead, and you started to get the sense that, well, maybe here we go again. Our most recent quarterfinal had Niagara blow out Marist. The final was 79-50, and it wasn't close. And it looked like Ryder might be headed in that direction in this nightcap, but John Dunn's club has hung around. Don't miss out on the excitement. It's still not too late to get your tickets for the Citizens Bank MAAC Basketball Championships now through Monday here at the Times Union Center in Albany, New York. Get your tickets now by calling 800-30-EVENT or by logging on to timesunion.com. MAAC Madness, the tradition continues. Ryan Thompson being very proactive here in the first half. Misfires on that one.
Being very aggressive on the offensive end.
Now for St. Peter's, Bacon and Jenkins are a combined 11 for 18 from the floor for 26 of the 32 points. The rest of the team only 2 of 9 from the field.
But when it looked like Ryder was going to run away, they were running. Since then, St. Peter's been able to slow the basketball game down and get it into the half court where they've had more success.
They want to get the ball to Nick Leon with 10 seconds to go. Gadsden denies and knocks it out of bounds. St. Peter's will have it with 6.2 on the clock.
And on that switch, it was again Bacon that had the mismatch inside. Good solid screen forced the switch. He had Patrick Mansell trying to hang on to him inside. They missed him.
They want to get the ball into Leon's hands. Here he has it with 5 seconds to go in the half. Nick Leon driving on Mansell, lost his footing, back out to Jenkins, and he can't get the shot away. So no field goal attempt for the Peacocks on their final possession of the half. But Ryan Thompson heads to the locker room with 16 points on 6 of 8 shooting.
And he was aggressive right from the get-go, especially when he was able to get out with the ball in his hands in transition.
Our score at halftime, Ryder 39, St. Peter's 32. We will be back with a MAAC halftime report right after this.
At Fairfield University, we explore big questions, complicated ideas, and unlimited possibilities.
In a community of learners representing diverse beliefs, opinions, and experiences.
Actively engaged in a caring, supportive, and fun community.
Our education prepares us to be thoughtful, global citizens, serving the common good.
At Fairfield University, you will get an inspiring education.
For an inspired life.
You are lucky. There is more life in front of you than there is behind you. Make the most of it. Find a cure. Lead a company. Teach children to read. Shoot the 3. Matter. Iona College. Earn a degree that matters.
6 for 8, missed his only 3-point try, so 6 for 7 inside the arc, most of that in the lane. 4 for 5 from the line, 16 points, 3 steals in 19 minutes of action for number 5 in white. Ryder with the basketball to begin the second half. Jackson and Robinson as well as Harris Mansell. Ryan Thompson and Mike Ringgold, tough pass to handle from Jackson to Ringgold, turn it over to the Peacocks. Same starting 5 to begin the second half for both these clubs, and now Nick Leon is on the board.
Able to sneak it underneath as he dragged through with the right hand. Both our stars showed up in the first half, both of them with good first 20 minutes, both in double figures.
And if St. Peter's can get Nick Leon off, then look out. They can get 3 or 4 guys coming at you. And Leon can put points up in a hurry. Ryan Thompson lost track of where he was along the sideline, had his foot on the out-of-bounds line.
And how about that? 4 turnovers in the first 20 minutes. Already 2 turnovers here in this second half.
Leon, Gooding, Jenkins, Traore, and Bacon on the floor for the Peacocks. Here is Bacon, turn around, off the front iron. Mansell the rebound. Harris Mansell into the lane. Rebound brought down by Bacon. Leon again going strong to the basket, this time denied by Jackson, who blocked it. And St. Peter's was the last to touch. Ryan Thompson, 6'6", 210-pound junior point guard, second team all-conference as a sophomore, first team all-conference this year as a junior. Traveling violation for the Bronx, who all of a sudden can't hold on to the basketball.
Oh, sluggish start to this second half after coming out guns a-blazing the first few minutes of the first half.
So Novar Gadsden comes back in, replacing his fellow freshman Jackson. And you see the turnover starting to balance out. Can St. Peter's capitalize on this run of miscues made by Ryder?
What they have done, Doug, is they've made it a half-court game.
Tough entry pass. Bacon fouled. Let's see if he was in the act of shooting. He was trying to pass to the corner. And indeed, that is what they call. Gooding brings it out to Leon. I got to figure Leon thinks he can go by Harris Mansell anytime he wants off the bounce. Got himself into the lane for the two.
Well, you thought right, and you saw what he was thinking.
Leon strikes me as the kind of player who thinks he can get by anybody.
Yep, he has terrific speed, but he plays with a lot of confidence.
Young man out of Brooklyn, played at powerhouse Lincoln High School. That has certainly produced its share of star guards. Has another one in the offing this year as a high school senior. Lance Stevenson is one of the hot recruits in the country.
One of the top unsigned seniors in the country.
Lincoln has produced all sorts of talented people, both in basketball and otherwise.
And Lance Stevenson trying to win 4 consecutive PSAL titles and try to get up to win yet another Federation crown.
Federation Championship is played about an hour north of where we are here in Albany at the Glens Falls Civic Center. Here's Leon with the shot clock winding down towards about 12, firing away. Gadsden able to save it. No, he was on the sideline, and head coach John Dunn just looks back out at Leon with this look and saying, you know, if the shot clock was at 3, that's a good shot. But it was at 13, not so good.
Tell you what, a lot of effort, though, from the Peacocks to start things off here in the second half. Don't have a lot to show for it, but what they've done is they've gotten this basketball game to the pace they needed.
And it's a one-possession game, although Gooding misfires. Bacon got himself caught underneath the basket. Here comes Ryder trying to pick up the pace a bit. Ringgold going to try and work on Traore.
Ringgold's been dead quiet. He's yet to score here tonight.
Gadsden, corner jumper, no, and it goes up over top of the backboard. And so it's St. Peter's ball. Ryder still looking for its first point here in the second half. They led 39-32 at the break and still stuck on 39. Jack Hill replaces Bacon. So far here in the second half, Ryder is 0 for 2 with 5 turnovers.
So no rhythm. That was one of the keys for St. Peter's to break the rhythm. Problem is, we talked about a 4th wheel. Right now they're a bicycle. Only 2 guys scoring the basketball. Maybe they can get Gooding to become the 3rd wheel. But it's basically been a 2-man show between Ryan Bacon and Wesley Jenkins.
And it's a 1-point ball game on the 6 straight points by St. Peter's to begin the second half. Mansell tries to answer, can't do it. Ryan Thompson on the offensive glass will get himself back to the line to shoot 2 when we come back. 15:52 remaining second half. It's been all St. Peter's here in the second half. Hakeem Gooding getting it done inside. Welcome back to the Citizens Bank MAAC Championships presented by Pepsi Max, and St. Peter's has climbed back into it, led by Nick Leon.
Well, you talked about the fact, Doug, if they could get him going, he was held scoreless in the first half, able to sneak one by as he dragged through with the right, and he now has been able to get himself into the lane. And when he does that, puts a lot of pressure on the defense. Held scoreless in that first half, but he had 5 assists, and building on that total with a nice feed inside. They've gotten the game into the half court. Nick Leon has started to heat up.
6 straight points to begin the second half of the Peacocks. Ryan Thompson trying to answer that, and he does. That is Ryder's first point after over 4 minutes here in half number 2. 1 for 2. There's a tip that rattles out by Gadsden. Ringgold misses on the putback, but I think they have found the energy button coming out of that timeout.
Well, their energy button most times is Mike Ringgold, as we said, as a nose for the basketball. He just hadn't been able to score it here tonight. Gadsden thought he was going to have the tip, and there's Ringgold getting his hands in, misses the first one, and now he'll go to the line, and boy, is that an adventure.
34% on the season. 6'7" sophomore out of Roman Catholic High School in Philadelphia. This is not his forte, not his milieu, not comfortable at the free throw line.
No, it does not look good when it's leaving his hands. It's beyond mental, it's mechanical as well.
Got the shooter's roll there. He does have his fingertips on it when he releases, just doesn't get very good rotation off of it. But 1 out of 2 will help that percentage, and he is on the board with his first point. There you see Bacon, Costner, Gooding, Jenkins, and Leon on the floor in blue for St. Peter's. The young men from Jersey City, New Jersey, facing their rivals from Lawrenceville, New Jersey, from down outside of Trenton. Bacon does a nice job to rip the ball away from the defender, and now on the second chance, he earns a trip to the line.
He's had some good opportunities inside. He's missed a couple easy ones. First half, he was converting all those.
But he is a young man who has really stepped up his game as a sophomore, averaging over 11 points and nearly 8 rebounds per game. And during this sophomore season, he has continued to get better and really be a force in the MAAC inside.
He was hurt and banged up last year, but now he's been healthy all season long, and we've mentioned it a couple of times. He and Ryan Rosser are 2 guys who have made that real big jump from their freshman season to their sophomore season, along with Julius Coles from Canisius. That's always a really important year. Guys go from their freshman year, that summer in between their freshman and sophomore seasons, when a lot of guys really start to refine their game, and you see who makes that jump.
Nick Leon's also made a big jump to his sophomore year. He's a good player last year, and now over 15 points per game. And as we illustrated, he has gotten off to a good start here in the second half. Costner faces up, and we've got a whistle and a foul on the low post. Bacon again had Gadsden on his hip, and Gadsden picks up the foul. We're here at the Times Union Center in downtown Albany, New York for our men's quarterfinals of the 2009 Citizens Bank MAAC Championships. Ryder in the home white uniforms. The Bronx come in looking for their 5th straight win and a spot in the semifinal round again this year. Meanwhile, St. Peter's also one of the hotter teams in the league, having won 5 of 6 to end the regular season, including 5 in a row against conference competition. Costner off the terrific feed by Bacon.
Well, double was coming late out of the zone, and Bacon with a nice interior feed to find Costner.
Jordan Costner from Montclair, New Jersey, with his first 2 points in this ballgame. Bullet pass, Robinson missed the layup, and then the foul against the Bronx.
Everything going St. Peter's way right now. They were the team that had the energy to start things off here in this second half.
A lot of that energy is coming from Bacon.
Bacon just really sealing, doing a great job of finding that inside scoring position. He and Gadsden are really fighting for that interior position.
10 seconds to shoot. Leon isolated on Thompson. Into the paint, left-hand finish, and St. Peter's has its first lead of the night.
Nice job isolating, able to use his quickness to get that first step by Thompson.
So 6 points for Leon, all in the second half. And he has made it a 1-point St. Peter's lead. They trailed at halftime 39-32, but they have controlled things through the first 6 minutes plus. Here in half number 2, Jenkins takes a seat, and Hall comes back in.
Rider without a field goal here in this second half, held to just 2 points, those 2 foul shots, and now that's their first field goal, make it a 3.
The Rider back on top, off a 3-point bucket from Harris Mansell.
Well, St. Peter's clearly right now, the game, the way the pace is going, this is where they want it. Rider dictated pace early on, but since then it's been completely a half-court game.
Shot clock at 15. Nice job defending that post entry by Mansell. Now Leon trying to work on Gatson. Little step back. That's a 2-point shot. And we are tied at 44.
And what he's done right now, they spread the floor, put it in his hands. He's got the quickness. That time again, another mismatch. Guarded by Gatson. Gatson can't guard him.
Nice up fake again. Showing the ball is Gatson. And then a foul on the penetration.
Well, Leon's been able to just isolate with the basketball in his hands. Uses his quickness. Nice step back. We see late in the shot clock. Doug, they've had good execution. Once the shot clock's gotten down into single digits, they've gotten good shots. That's how you're able to control the pace and make it a half-court ball game.
Now you see Traore coming back into the ball game after the 4th foul called on Jordan Costner. Matt Griffin has also come back in for Rider, number 10, Ian White.
And he's a guy that can bring him some energy. Right now, they're a little flat.
Harris Mansell right to the rim, but it rims out. Ringgold going to get tied up. Nice job by Hall to get in there and force the held ball. But how about Harris Mansell going strong on the baseline, just unable to get it to fall.
And he had some energy as he attacked the tin.
I mean, when he took off, you almost thought he was going to try and throw it down. You never see him do anything like that.
Caught you by surprise. But the defense by surprise.
12:30 remaining second half.
Rider back into the zone, and again, the screen in. That's a nice play. We've seen it 2 different times that Rider's gone to the zone. The back guy offensively screens in that defender. Opens everything up along the baseline.
Leon read it beautifully, timed it perfectly. A terrific pass for another assist. Bacon now with 16 points. Gatson, strong finish with the left hand. And a timeout called by Tommy Dempsey and the Rider Bronx. Gatson now has 8 points off of the terrific finish. And we're tied again at 46 apiece. We'll take a break. 12:03 to go in regulation. We've got ourselves a ball game. They are fighting tooth and nail for the right to take on Niagara in the MAAC semifinals tomorrow night.
St. Peter's College, success is a team effort. St. Peter's College, education one student at a time.
St. Peter's and Rider now tied 46 apiece. Welcome back to the Citizens Bank MAAC Championship presented by Pepsi Max. Some of the upcoming MAAC Championships to keep your eye out for include men's lacrosse at Canisius College first couple of days of May, and then softball and baseball coming in. Love for baseball and softball season to be just around the corner. It actually felt like it today as temperatures got up over 50 here in the capital region. Nick Leon, part of the story here in the second half. All 8 of his points coming since the intermission as St. Peter's has gotten back into it. Meanwhile, Rider's offense has fallen apart. 2 for 9, including 8 turnovers. Wesley Jenkins misses the 3. Gatson big for the rebound.
And here's, if you're going to run, you got to rebound. This is where they were able to get out to that nice lead early on.
Harris Mansell, Novar Gatson, Matt Griffin, Ryan Thompson, and Mike Ringgold on the floor for the Rider Broncs. Gadsden kicks to Mansell. 16 to shoot. Pass deflected into the air, and Ryan Bacon again, Mr. Energy for the Peacocks.
After taking care of the basketball so well in the first half, they've kicked it around here in the second.
Wes Jenkins off a nice fake, goes strong along the baseline for two, and gives the Peacocks the lead once again.
Got by Ringgold and then went right at the rim.
14 points for the sophomore out of Newark, New Jersey. 11:05 remaining in regulation. Points in the paint certainly favor St. Peter's. A big part of that has been Ryan Bacon, who has 16 points. And again, here is Bacon. Mansell quickly with a double team. Tough pass to nobody. And I was just going to say I have really been impressed with the way Bacon has handled everything on the low post, but he commits the turnover. We'll take a break. St. Peter's on top by 2.
This is Siena, a college that builds competence and character, where you're part of a team, a place of academic rigor that builds leaders, offering opportunity and values that prepare you for change, leadership, and life. The tradition, the community of Siena, educating for success, one student at a time.
Welcome back to the Citizens Bank MAAC Championship presented by Pepsi Max. St. Peter's with a 2-point lead midway through the second half. And let's take a look back at our FYE flashback. Don't have to go back too far, just last month to a thrilling game out in Buffalo between St. Peter's and Canisius.
And this was the start of their 5-game run with that tip-in by Ryan Bacon. And as John Dunn said, all of a sudden we were finally rewarded for hanging in there and giving ourselves a chance. And they used the excitement of that tip-in in that 1-point win, backed it up with another buzzer beater the next time out against Rider, and have ridden this 5-game MAAC winning streak all the way into that 6th seed.
And not only do you get a thrilling win, as Thompson gets another chance for another 3-point play, you do it on a televised game, so you wind up making SportsCenter top 5 on the top plays, and you further validate that, hey guys, we can do this. We can do this.
That's what you need every once in a while. You need to get that win to get some confidence going.
Ryan Thompson now with 19, make it 20 points. He has been hot right from the start for the Rider Broncs.
And now Rider trying to create some energy with their full court pressure.
Leon breaks it out there with Hall. His floater a little too strong. Rebound out of bounds off of Traore.
The press didn't get a turnover, but what it did is it forced a quick shot. That's the tempo that Tommy Dempsey's looking for. Not the shot I can guarantee you that John Dunn was looking for, especially from a guy like Brandon Hall that averages less than 3 points per game.
Rider spreads the floor here. Just about midway through the second half here at the Times Union Center in Albany. Our 4th men's quarterfinal. Thompson, catch, turn, shoot, knock it down.
That's the way to move without the basketball. They've got great spacing. He flashes into the high post right at the elbow to find a spot.
22 now for the 6'6" point guard of the Broncs. Wesley Jenkins goes to the left hand, tough shot. Rider up by 3, looking to build that lead back up. Gadsden called for steps. Didn't put it to the floor as he spun to the baseline.
Yep, tried to turn quickly, but you got to put the ball to the floor.
11th turnover of the second half, now 14 for the game.
After taking care of the basketball so well in that first half, they've turned it over here in the second.
Nick Leon misses on the 3. Ringgold with the rebound, and now Ryder will take its time coming out. Under 9 minutes to go. Thompson directs traffic, wants the screen from Gadsden. Bacon comes out to meet him and is called for the foul.
You just kept riding him there. There's where you got to back off. You come, you hedge, you show the numbers on the high ball screen, but then you can't ride him.
Second foul on Bacon, and the 6th against the Peacocks here in half number 2. Griffin now at the point with Thompson working off to the wing. Mansell, terrific wraparound pass. Gadsden, though, had it blocked from behind by Jenkins. This time blocked from in front by Bacon.
You can see why he leads the league in block shots.
But then the pass to him at the other end could have been an easy 2. Instead, it trickles off his fingertips out of bounds.
But a huge defensive stop at the other end, taking away what was a great wraparound pass from Mansell. Gadsden able to come up with the basketball, and bang, there it comes. He's already set a single-season St. Peter's record with block shots this year, active defensively.
Gadsden trying to get the ball on the low post. Now a traveling violation called against Griffin. 15 for the game.
Boy, it's amazing. They had such terrific flow during that first half, Doug. They took care of the basketball. How about all of a sudden here in the second half, they can't get anything going because they can't get shots up. 11 turnovers here in this second half. That is not very characteristic of the Ryder offense.
Bacon has it roll out. Well, it just occurred to me, it is 11:45, trying to figure out why something would change so dramatically. This is probably the latest tip time that the Bronx have had this year, and maybe you go into the halftime locker room and kind of let down. It's late at night. We've got a lead. It's St. Peter's. We think we should beat them. And you come out and you're a little sloppier than you should be.
That's a good point. You're hanging around all day long, and they've been sluggish here last couple of minutes.
Ryan Thompson and the Ryder Bronx on top by 3. The 2009 Citizens Bank MAAC Basketball Championships are brought to you by Pepsi Max, your world gone Max. FYE, strictly for your entertainment. Verizon Wireless, the official wireless provider of the MAAC. New York Lottery, hey, you never know. Sirius XM, everything worth listening to is now on Sirius XM. And by the 2009 Citizens Bank MAAC Basketball Championships. Get your tickets now by calling 1-800-30-EVENT or by logging on to timesunion.com. MAAC Madness, the tradition continues. Welcome back to downtown Albany at the Times Union Center, where John Dunn's St. Peter's Peacocks are trailing by 3. Under 8 minutes remaining second half. It's part of the Citizens Bank MAAC Championships presented by Pepsi Max. Ryan Thompson has been the story for Ryder now with 23 points as they have weathered the surge by St. Peter's. The Peacocks took a 42-41 lead, and then they seesawed baskets a few times, but now perhaps Ryder is re-seizing control. It's now a 53-48 lead. Let's see who comes out of this break with more energy.
Well, they've weathered it a bit, but they certainly haven't gotten themselves any separation. Ryder with this 7-0 run.
All 7 of those points coming from Ryan Thompson. Bacon lost it on the way up, it appeared. Gadsden tracks down the long rebound.
And they've got numbers if they can hurry.
Mansell finds Ringgold. See if they're going to count the basket. Bacon comes down with a limp after picking up the foul.
There were the numbers that they had, trying to rush the ball up the floor. Here's some more numbers.
Statistics brought to you by Sirius XM. St. Peter's out shooting Ryder. Points in the paint in favor of the Peacocks. And those Ryder turnovers piling up, but the Bronx back to the line with Ringgold on top by 5.
See Ringgold shorten it there. That's one of the problems late in the ball game at times. Tommy Dempsey's got to take Ringgold out of the game because of his inability to make foul shots, and that's hard because he's their best defender at the other end. You see a knuckleball, no rotation. That one never had a chance. And tell you what, you cannot fall asleep if you're St. Peter's. Tell you what, when Ringgold's on the foul line, you got to expect that it's going to be a miss, and you got to get after the rebound.
Well, sure. Three-quarters of them, two-thirds, three-quarters of them are going to come off. Clearly his teammates were ready for that one. Robinson tracked it down, and now Ringgold much more in his comfort zone down there.
That's what he does. He finishes around the rim. Hasn't really been able to do that tonight, but that's the strength of his game.
9-0 Rider run. St. Peter's has not scored in nearly 5 minutes.
Been a while since Jenkins has been able to get something going, and here's Ringgold once again defensively locked down on him to start things off.
10 to shoot. Leon had the quick start to the second half. Let's see what he's got. Isolated on Gadsden. Well, he's got himself a two-point jump shot, a long two, and a smile on his face as he comes back the other way, defending Robinson. He can't get those two back, and now a foul will send Gadsden to the line. It's called against Jenkins.
Leon's eyes have lit up when he's had that matchup out on the perimeter with Gadsden. Ryder's been switching a lot of those screens defensively, and because of those switches, you get these mismatches. Leon recognizing it, but with the foot on the line, it's a long two instead of the three.
All 10 of Leon's points coming since the break. Gadsden at the line. A 6-time MAAC Rookie of the Week, who made the 2009 All-Rookie team. Tommy Dempsey, you talk about his want and ability to get good recruits out of the city of Philadelphia and keep them from Fran McCaffrey and Siena and Joe Mihalik of Niagara. Gadsden certainly is one of those good ones that he is able to keep relatively close to home in Lawrenceville, New Jersey.
And as we said, he loves his upside potential. He says he may be the most talented freshman that he's coached. When you think back to Jason Thompson, he was just kind of gangly colt as a freshman. Ryan Thompson, you know, had a good freshman year, but he didn't even make the all-rookie team his first year. So Gadsden certainly has made a big impact in his first year.
How about that finish by Bacon, and the timeout called for St. Peter's. Ryan Bacon now with 18 points on the turnaround jumper, and it's back to a 4-point ball game.
Well, early on in the first half, this was their formula for success. Bacon in the paint. Gooding, I'll tell you what, he got a hand on the rim there. That was offensive goaltending. They got away with one. That's where you got to be smart as an offensive player. Stay away from it. Don't grab the rim and give the official an opportunity to make that call.
56-52, Rider with a 4-point lead, 5.5 minutes remaining. A spot in the semifinals in the offing against Niagara. The Purple Eagles had no trouble with Marist earlier tonight, winning 79-50. This afternoon we had a big crowd in the building here. 9,656 to see Siena knock off Canisius in our second quarterfinal. And we got things started this afternoon with Fairfield defeating Manhattan 68-61. Thompson, Gadsden, Robinson, Ringgold, and Harris Mansell on the floor for the Rider Broncs. Here's Gadsden off the crossover and the denial by Bacon.
Boy, he has been right there defensively. Second time he's taken away what looked like an easy layup inside for Gadsden.
And his third block shot on the stat sheet. Leon goes behind his back with the finger roll. He's making it look easy.
Yeah, when they spread the floor, he's just too quick. No matter who's guarding him. Yeah, he's blown by Gadsden, but that time, the second time, he's been able to blow right by Ryan Thompson.
Well, for as much as the NBA scouts in the stands watch and love what they see about Ryan Thompson at the offensive end, they can't be thrilled with that to watch Nick Leon blow right past him. Got to clamp down on Leon there.
Got to be able to guard the guy with the basketball.
Ringgold tips it back in for Rider.
Well, after being quiet and kind of flat early in the game, Ringgold's starting to come alive.
Here's Akeem Gooding, now guarded by Ryan Thompson.
Once again on the switch, so you've got Gadsden trying to guard Leon outside, but terrific defense to keep it out of his hands. And now Leon fights his way to go get it.
Well, the best way to keep Leon from driving past you is don't let him get the ball. Costner off the feed from Leon. No, Leon gets the offensive rebound.
Now there's the smaller guy being quicker to the long rebound.
Under 4 minutes remaining in regulation. Costner plays high-low. Bacon goes up over the top of Robinson to gather. And they call the foul on the guard for the Bronx.
And Ryder continues to switch on those screen downs, and it's created some mismatches, not just with Leon's quickness, but that side posted inside for Bacon.
Tommy Dempsey's Bronx trying to avoid the upset. Back after this. Up late with us, less than a minute away from the witching hour here in Albany, New York. It's the Citizens Bank MAAC Championships presented by Pepsi Max. And now take a look at the Pepsi Max slam of the game. Ryan Bacon throwing it down.
Well, nice execution against the zone. They get the screen in by Traore, and then Ryan Bacon does the rest.
Bacon has put together a nice ball game. With 18 points, he has helped to lead the surge here in the second half. St. Peter's has led a couple of times here in the second half. Pass by Gooding to nobody. Here comes Ryder the other way. He makes up for it by blocking the shot from behind. Out of bounds to Ryder.
And Doug, did you think he was trying to throw it off a defender's back as nobody came open and the defender moved? I mean, he just threw it to nobody there.
You're probably right, because clearly there was nobody there.
And again, late in the game, save the possession, take the timeout if you need to.
And you're right, by the way he pursued that ball so immediately out of the baseline pass, that's probably what he was doing.
There's a better baseline out-of-bounds execution.
Here at the Times Union Center as the clock has struck midnight. St. Peter's and Ryder going down to the wire. It's now a 6-point Bronx lead.
And that's a big swing of events coming out of the timeout. They don't execute in the baseline out of bounds. Those specials can become important. Ryder forces another turnover.
Ryan Thompson now just 2 away from his career high, Rob, of 28 points. Drive and dish. That would have been for a new career high. Gadsden kept it alive, but an empty trip for Ryder. And Leon trying to answer back.
Thompson didn't make a clean catch, much like Jenkins.
Then it rattles out, one and done. No peacocks around the basket. Ringgold with the defensive rebound.
And that was a force because it wasn't a good pass. He didn't make the clean catch. Instead, get it out, run some offense, see if you can't find a better shot.
Timeout called by Ryder. And Rob, how important is that to have a clean catch? I mean, you
so
can
important.
gather and regather and still have a clean look, but if you don't have it all in rhythm, how much does that throw you off?
It absolutely throws you off. You got to get shot ready, and then the feeder's got to put it in that shot pocket. And that's one of those things that people don't make a big enough deal about. All of a sudden, some guys are terrific passers, and not just, you know, the blind look and a bounce back, but just putting it where guys can catch and get right into their shot.
Coming up tomorrow, the women's championship game at noon Eastern time between top-seeded Marist and number 2 seed Canisius. And then our men's semifinals beginning at 6 o'clock. Fairfield against the top-seeded Siena Saints, followed by the winner of this ball game against the 2nd-seeded Purple Eagles of Niagara. Check your local listings along the MAAC television network for those ball games.
Good substitution on the timeout by Tommy Dempsey. Takes out Mike Ringgold. You have to save those timeouts. Again, Ringgold is a mess from the foul line. Can't have him on the floor. That's why they took the timeout, not to allow them to hack a shack against Mike Ringgold.
And so they get Patrick Mansell, the sophomore, who is 5 for 5 from the line this season. Robinson, nothing but net.
Tough shot. That time he did what Leon's done on the other side. Isolated, ball in his hand, able to rise up and knock down a big bucket.
Now Leon nearly loses the dribble, keeps possession.
Much harder to go by the much quicker Robinson, who's all over him.
No question.
A lot different than when Gadsden was guarding him.
Robinson is from London, England.
St. Peter's too much standing around, nothing going.
Now Leon has the better matchup. Gadsden drop it off Gooding, and the foul given by Gadsden.
Well, it took a while to develop, but again, Leon with his quickness. Anytime your point guard can turn the corner and get into the paint, you force the defense to rotate. Once that help side defense steps up to give that help support, somebody's open.
Hakeem Gooding to the line where he is only a 58% foul shooter. As you see, he's 2 for 2. But those are the only 2 free throws made by the Peacocks so far tonight. 2 out of 6, now 3 out of 7.
And on the make, they've got to start thinking about getting up into some full court pressure, but instead, hey, this is what they want. John Dunn saying, hey, hang around long enough, keep it in that half-court game and see if they can't make plays late, so they'll get right back into their half-court man-to-man.
Well, under 2 minutes to go, down 6. They are content to defend in the half-court.
But now you're forced to come up with stops and clear it. You got to finish off the defensive possession by rebounding the basketball.
Gatson posting, but he's some 18 feet from the basket. Not going to give it to him there. The Mansell brothers in the backcourt together along with Robinson. Shot clock down to 5. Robinson fires away. St. Peter's got what it wanted. Shot clock horn goes off. Either way, it goes back to the Peacocks. So a good decision defensively by John Dunn. And with 1:19, they get it back.
And staying within who they are. They're not a team that's going to come up and force the pace. They stayed with their solid man-to-man defense. Still plenty of time. You don't have to start worrying about threes, but you've got to get good execution offensively.
Ringgold back in the ball game guarding Jenkins.
And now he's back in for that defensive assignment against Jenkins.
Does his job, knocking it away, and like a bolt of lightning, here comes Ryan Thompson, and that ties his career high with 28 points.
And we talk about offensive defensive substitutions. You see why right there. Ringgold back into the game to lock down defensively against Jenkins.
Leon bounces it off his foot, but at the same time, Robinson is called for the foul. He is smiling, but not happy about the call. He picks up the personal, and a 1-and-1 coming up for the Peacocks.
And now another substitution as you'll get Ringgold back out, but he was in. He's the guy that came up with that defensive stop, and then Ryan Thompson skating across. How many times have we seen this step through? Right here by the defender, and then finishing up at the rim.
Boy, he is so long and in transition. Yep. He can pick up his dribble 15 feet from the basket and still easily get to the rim.
That long stride and then the ability to stretch out and finish at the rim.
Leon, who is a terrific foul shooter, misses the front end. A crucial miss for the Peacocks.
And now they've got to get up in the full court pressure. They can't drop back into the half court. You don't come up with the steal, you got to give up the foul. Too much time going off right here.
Now John Dunn continues to scream from the bench, get him.
Yep.
Nick Leon does get the point finally, but they lost 17 seconds off the shot clock.
That's the key finally, because the shot clock is able to wind down to 18 seconds. Give yourself an opportunity to come up with the steal, that's fine, but once the ball comes over into the half court, you got to give up the foul quicker.
And now Ryan Thompson for a new career high, and he's got it.
Now that's the shooter's touch. He gave it to Mike Ringgold earlier. That was the stretch beyond belief, but good rotation on that. He gets it to crawl in.
2 for 2, 30 for Ryan Thompson. And that makes it a 10-point lead with 35 seconds on the clock. Patrick Mansell back out of the ball game. Jenkins, deep three, way off the mark. Harris Mansell fouled and will walk to the other end.
So for St. Peter's, they came out of the last media timeout. Baseline out of bounds, down by 4. They were kind of right where they wanted to be, but then Ryan Thompson took over, started the game, and then finished it up. A career-high 30 points. That's an easy guess as our Pepsi Max player of the game.
And so Thompson will move on to the semifinal round, take on Tyrone Lewis and the Niagara Purple Eagles, assuming they hold on to this 10-point lead with under 30 seconds remaining.
And the last time those two teams met, it was a terrific ball game as the guy on the line, Harris Mansell, hit a three inside of 10 seconds to solidify a 90-87 win at home at the Bronx Zoo. That should be a very entertaining and good matchup.
Leon, nice pass. Whistle and a foul before the slam by Bacon. And they are pointing at Mike Ringgold, whose palms face the sky, saying, "Who, me?" But if for St. Peter's, you'd like to forget about the foul and take the 2 points.
And the referee, Gary Tracy, says, yeah, you.
And so Ringgold now heads out after picking up his 4th foul. Griffin back in.
So he grabbed Tommy Dempsey as if to say, hey, sorry about that one. I know you didn't want me to stop the clock there. He's got that basketball IQ, high basketball IQ. So for St. Peter's, certainly not what they had hoped coming into the MAAC tournament, but their 5-game run, winning 5 straight MAAC games, I think that's huge for their program, especially moving forward.
And you know, to get the program's first bye here at the MAAC tournament in 5 years also speaks volumes for that growth that they are looking for as a program.
They pretty much have everybody back, not only the 3 sophomores, but Akeem Gooding as well. If they add a couple more pieces, then they can continue to make a step up in the MAAC.
67-58. Ryder content to just let it dribble out. And the Bronx improve their record to 19-11. They've won 5 in a row, and they move on to the MAAC semifinals.
And so Tommy Dempsey's team struggled a bit, especially kicking it around at the beginning of the second half. But when they needed to make plays, well, just go to Ryan Thompson, give him the ball, and he's been able to finish off ball games all season long, becoming Mr. Clutch for the Bronx.
Well, St. Peter's was a game opponent after trailing at the intermission by 7. They did take a couple of leads, but ultimately in the end, their season comes to an end, and Ryder picks up the victory, 67-58. Join us tomorrow at noon Eastern for our coverage of women's championship game in the MAAC, and the men's semifinal coverage begins at 6 o'clock Eastern here in Albany. For more information on ESPN Plus, log on to ESPNplus.com. For Rob Kennedy and our entire crew, I'm Doug Sherman. The proceeding has been a presentation of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference.